pop-up live. You know how I do. I pop up live sometimes. I want to do it more often. I do have things I want to discuss and give to you and bring to you and talk about. I just have to just do it. But today I just wanted to talk about. And if you're watching this, if you're new here, please give me a subscribe. Please give me a like if you can, please. Shout out to all the Niner gang. Niner gang. This is for y'all. This take is for y'all. I want to, while it's fresh in my mind, I'm sick of just commenting, floating around, commenting here on all these different pages. Shout out to all the content creators that give me a lot of 49er content. If you don't know, now you know. I'm a 49er fan, die-hard 49er fan. That's my team. I rock with them since the 90s till now, never wavered. So that's my team, and good win, lose, or draw. That's what I roll for. But we had a rough year, to say the least. You know, a lot of stuff going on. I'm gonna give my perspective, and then I'm gonna say what I would do if I was running a 49er. This is me, not what's gonna happen. What I would do. So pay attention if you can. If you like it, if you agree, drop a comment. Whatever you disagree, drop a comment. I have no problem having that discussion with y'all if y'all want to have it. But without further ado, let's go. So we came into the year after losing Super Bowl, which I think we should have won. I don't blame the defense why we lost. I blame just the Chiefs got so much rabbit foot crap with them. It's ridiculous, man. Like that the fumbling, the ball hitting the guy's foot on a punt. They got so many breaks, man. And of course, yes, the refs played a little part, but I don't want to give it to the refs too much for this one. The first one, yeah, they screwed us up, the refs, because they missed a lot of calls, and they called every little thing against us. I blame them second to Kyle with the first loss in the Super Bowl, but or they won and 1-8 for the first loss, which we should have won that one in my opinion. Definitely should have won that one, but that's neither here nor there. That's in the past. Shout out to the Chiefs. I give them more credit for the second one. They won it fair and square. They kicked our butts in overtime, and they drove down the field, and that was it. You know, now was that on the defensive coordinator that for those set of plays possibly, but for the whole year was he to blame? No, I don't want to blame him too harsh. I like Steve. I wanted Steve Wills at the time. I wanted him. I still don't mind him being there. Like he wasn't terrible to me. You know what I'm saying? They just didn't get along. And I think probably with get along because he told Kyle the truth. He didn't back down from Kyle. This is my opinion. Kyle seemed like he wanted yes men. Guys that kiss his butt, give him all the praise. Nobody that challenged him. So I think Steve Wills was challenging him some. And he didn't like that. He wanted guys that was just gonna fit in and shut up and follow his rules. And look at what happened after Steve. You got a yes man and the guy we have, and he's terrible. He's terrible. I didn't want that guy, Sorensen. I didn't want him, but he's a yes man. That's what Kyle wants. He wants yes men. So that's why he got rid of Wilkes, who knew what he was doing, and in my opinion, knew more what he was doing, in my opinion, because he was an ex head coach. So he had pedigree. He knows how to kind of lead men. So let him do his thing. Don't get in his. But they got rid of him and blamed him kind of made him the scapegoat for the loss in the Super Bowl, which I don't want to give him full credit for that. But whatever, we you know losing Greenlaw didn't help. That's what I said. The Chiefs got a lot of breaks to win that one, man. They had a lot of freaking breaks, man. Losing Greenlaw, and it was everything went their way, man. It was just CMC fumbling. It's like I don't know. Hey. It's like I don't know. I don't know. It's just a lot of things went their way. I think it was just more kind of bad luck and good luck for them. And that's kind of how they've been even this year. They get all the breaks, and I don't know what type of magic or luck they have. It's ridiculous the Chiefs have, but not to undermine Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes. Great at what they do. Great they're great 1-2 punch. So and the defensive coordinator. Oh my gosh, I hope somebody takes him, man. Somebody need to take him, man. The Patriots need to take him, man. They have an opening a head coach, man. Take him, man. They need an older. They need somebody like that, in my opinion. So he need to get a job, man, as a defensive coordinator, man. Spurs. You know the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs. Anyway, he was the head coach at one time for the Rams. But anyway, So yeah, fast forward this year. I know we gotta have a little what they call a Super Bowl hangover. I expected that. I expected us to kind of like not get out the gate because that's just mentally draining. You losing two Super Bowls like that, and just you was that close, and it's mentally draining. So I didn't expect them to really come out 100% with like hungry and all these things to like really like do anything crazy. Although we were favored by the betters in all our games this year, which was crazy, but that's because of what we did last year. So we gotta, the people gotta assume we're gonna carry on, but it's hard. It's hard. Football, especially any sports, it's hard to continue on what you did the year before because you're a year older, your body's worn down a year more pounding. That's a lot of games. And that's why I'm gonna get into it. This is why I don't like kind of how Kyle Shanahan, which who I blame, who's the orchestrator of everything this year that went wrong. He's at fault, and I'm glad he took accountability because he's at fault. But I'm gonna get into that. But this is why I don't really. I like Kyle. I think he's gonna stay. I want him to stay for at least one more year. So I'm not saying fire Kyle. If under my like guidance or suggestions, I wouldn't say let's fire Kyle. That's not what I would say. I'm gonna say keep him. He can stay for one more year. Why? Because who else you gonna get? There's nobody right now that's realistic that you're gonna get that's gonna be better than him. So, and the roster's kind of built for his system, and all the personnel is built for him. Blah blah blah. So he stays for now, but his seat is warm. His seat is definitely warm. If things continue into next year, which I would expect not to if he's this so-called genius. Like, come on, man. But I give him a little pass because we got the Super Bowl last year, and we was close to winning. So it is what it is. But so yeah, so the season just a horrible season. Injuries, holdouts. I wouldn't have paid Brandon Ayuk that 30 million, whatever they gave. I wouldn't have did it. I would have traded him for the first round pick that somebody offered. I would have traded him for that. I drafted a center, and you could have still got Pearsall. So you have two first round picks, get Pearsall and a center, and we're golden. Well, we're in a better position moving forward because he got hurt anyway. He didn't really have him all year, and he was terrible. So we would have, and our center is terrible. The worst center in football. We're gonna get into that too. Worst center in football, and you would have had an upgrade if you drafted a center in the first round, late first round, whatever first round, and then drafted Pearsall, who's looking better the last few weeks in the season. But so didn't agree with that signing, and so far it's not looking good. Everything that we've seen, and even if you're gonna sign him, don't drag it out, man. Like you dragging it out, and then he's holding out and is making like it's a mess. You don't need that type of controversy going into your trying to be the year you go back to the Super Bowl. You don't need that. You need togetherness. You don't need divisive energy in the locker room, man. And then Trent want to hold out now because you pay Ayuk. Oh, I want to get paid now. Then you pay CMC, which I didn't agree with either. I want to pay neither of those two guys either. Trent getting old and he's already decent money. Why are you paying him all this? But he's one of Kyle guys. Kyle's gonna get his guys paid. CMC's definitely one of Kyle's guys. He's gonna get him paid. He don't care nothing about nothing. He gonna get his behind paid because he grinded that man into the ground. Although he did kind of deserve a little bit of something, but he's getting older, man. He's getting older. Like, why are you paying an old running back any type of extra money? Like, I didn't agree with that. He want to hold out. He want to, but see, Kyle real fast is he's just stuck on his guys, and he's so. I call it like insecure if he has a coach without these guys. Although CMC is dope. He's good. He's good. He's really good. But you have to weigh the pros and the cons with paying him, keeping him long term. You got to be 30 soon. 30-year-old running backs don't produce that well. And I don't know how much he got left in the tank after all the usage, and he's already breaking down. He's broken down before we got him, so now it's like you paying him to not play. I didn't agree with that at all. That signing, so that made no sense to me. But they signed him, gave him money. They signed Trent Williams, gave him money. And he made a little sense because you kind of need him, but the way they prioritize O line is like, why you pay him anyway too? So it's another thing, man. But you stuck with that one because you don't pay CMC. Trent gonna want his money now too. But if you don't pay CMC, I don't think Trent was gonna be like that about his money. I don't think, but you never know. But anyway, so sorry, other people coming in. Anyway, so fast forward to the end of the year. We got the 11th pick. I'm gonna keep try to keep it under 30 minutes. We have the 11th pick now. We had a tumultuous year because of too much going on, a lot of injuries played a part. But what really played a part, Kyle, is his lack of vision, lack of creativity, lack of giving players chances that could potentially produce. Wide receiver, you got Chris Conley. He's not terrible. You could have gave him more reps. I feel the rookie Cowan, you could have gave him more reps. Didn't do it. You didn't feature Pearsall. Could have gave him more reps. Didn't do it. So you just force feeded Jennings a lot of the year, which I didn't. And that's another part why I would have traded Ayuk, because you have Jennings. Jennings and Ayuk, not too much difference in my opinion. Look how he played. Jennings was awesome this year. He could be the guy that replaces Ayuk if you traded Ayuk. And then you have Pearsall, you have Debo still, you have Kittles, you have enough weapons. And then CMC come back, or if he doesn't, you still have enough weapons to get by. And obviously we had enough weapons for him to almost have 1,000-year season. So again, Kyle's extremely insecure. He's all about veterans. He don't like rookies, obviously, in my opinion. He don't like rookies, don't like to play rookies, don't like to give rookies a chance. He's all about his system. You gotta know his system like the back of your hand. You gotta know the system like you breathe in air. You can't like not know nothing and think you're gonna get on the field. And you could be terrible, but if you know the system, you'll get shine over somebody who's more talented than you. I don't like that about Kyle Shanahan, but he's our coach. And because you never see what we got. We don't even know what Cowan is 100%. We don't really know what he is. We got a glimpse of Pearsall only because we're losing him because Ayuk probably got hurt. If Ayuk was healthy, he probably would have seen a lot of day. And then the kid is already 24. Like, you don't have time to just be wasting. He's not a 20, 21-year-old kid, man. It's a 25, 24-year-old dude. Like, he needs to play right away, man. So I if you draft him that age, you playing right away. You don't just ease him in. I know he got shot in this training. All right, you don't ease him in to the degree they did, but ease him slightly. But you still got to see what you got in him as soon as possible. Especially now after Ayuk went down, you got to ramp him up. And they didn't until the last few weeks of the year, and he showed some promise. So I like what I saw in him. Sorry, it's people at my job. I see people coming in for my job. So anyway, um, yeah. Let me continue. I'm gonna finish this. They know what to do. I'm one of the bosses, so they know what to do. But anyway, yeah. So Pearsall looked better. I wasn't a fan of that pick. I would have, like I said, I would have probably took a center at that spot in that position because I've always wanted a center. Brendo's been on my ish list for a minute now. I can't stand him. I want him off the team. I wanted him off the team last year, and we brought him back, and he played the whole year. We didn't even give nobody a chance. My preference for center is, I know it's going to be controversial, is Nick Zakel. That's who I would have preferred to start. At least give him a chance. Like, see what he can do. To me, he looked good in preseason. He looked really good in preseason. So I wanted to see if he could do it against like better caliber players. And who knows, maybe he'll get a chance this year because Kyle he's just a veteran junkie. You gotta have like 8 years in the NFL to get a playing time under him. You gotta be sitting for 4 years or five. Like, it's just annoying. Like, yo, if you could play, let them play. And it's funny how John Lynch said it's a young man's game, and Kyle prefer to have all these old guys on the roster. So there's a disconnect there with ideology I see. So it's like they're not really on the same page with that because Kyle definitely doesn't like to play young guys. I get some of it. Young guys tend to make more mistakes, but if you manage it correctly as a coach, it could still benefit you as in the long run if they're talented enough. But of course, if they're not talented enough, or they don't know certain things, yeah, you gotta manage them. But if they have promise, they stayed in football. I mean, they stayed in college football 4 or 5 years. You gotta give them some grace. It's still football at the end of the day. It's not rocket science. So let them play, man. If they got the talent, I still felt Colin should have got more burn. He didn't, but I still feel he should have got more burn. We'll see what happens next year. Although Kyle Shanahan, you never freaking know. This is why, but some of it is Kyle, some of it is just the players we got in the draft that were just not good enough, or we just didn't know because Kyle never played them. We never gave him a chance to see what they was. He never fully developed nobody. Like, you got to come ready to play, but then you don't. How you gonna know if they could play if you don't play them? So I guess he seems to be a coach that just puts so much emphasis on practice. You got to be like dominant in practice for him to feel comfortable with playing you at all in a regular game. But some people are not good in practice. Some people are okay in practice but better in games. It's just you got to see. You got to put them out there to see. Like I get it. Like I'm not a big fan of all rookies, but some rookies deserve a chance to play. And then if the veteran is not getting it done, and you have younger guys that have potential that you put on the roster, let them take out Brendo. He's been trash all year. Oh my gosh, horrible. Banks too, another guy. I was not I have not been a fan of him for a few years also too. I mean, not as bad as Brendo, but he's just been trash, man. Trash, trash, trash. He needs to go. He needs to go. I can't wait for him to get off the team. We could get so much cheaper and better at that spot. He needs to go. And we drafted Kingston, who was good. I thought he played excellent, awesome in preseason. We let him go, and the Panthers picked him up. I'm like, why would you cut a lineman? We need lineman, and he's a good lineman, good young lineman that could probably now next year be the starting left guard, in my opinion. He would be the starting left guard. But the Panthers took him. They ain't letting him go. They're not stupid. They got to hold on to that guy because they need lineman help, and he's a young athletic guard that we could have had plug in to the left guard spot. But I'll tell you what I'm gonna do about all of that. But just trying to wrap up the season and get into what I'm gonna do. So yeah, so Mason played excellent. I didn't like how when CMC came back, we just shut down Mason and then gave 100 carries to CMC. Like that was weird to me. I don't think he deserved that. And I don't expect Mason to want to come back. I mean, he's a restricted guy. We could put a tag or tender on him or some crap, which maybe I don't know. People saying second, that's too much. That's too much to pay for a guy you might not even use. So it's like I want to put the second round tender on him, and it's too expensive. You got a lot of players extensions kicking in and everything, and you got to pay Brock Purdy now, who I'm gonna get into also. So I don't know about we could afford to even keep him. He's like a luxury at that point. But maybe if we put a later round tender, who knows? Maybe a team will sign him and give us a 5th round pick or whatever. I don't know how that goes with the tender stuff, but I expect us at least probably tender him if it's at a certain price, but and maybe flip him if a team, because he's good. That boy could play. He could be a starting running back on a lot of teams. I would try to control where he goes though, because you don't want him going to Seattle. You don't want him going to like the Cardinals. The Cardinals would probably snatch him up because Connor is not getting any younger. He's okay, but he's on borrowed time. He's always hurt, so you don't want to really say that they're gonna bring him back. They probably take Mason and Kyler Murray. That would be a dangerous combination, boy. And you don't want him in your division and dealing with him. You want to send him somewhere you don't have to see him no more, or see him very seldomly. So hopefully they could figure out a way to get something from him or something from him in terms of trading him, if and when they trade him, get some compensation for trading him. But I wouldn't want to. I would bring him back if you're gonna use him. If you're not gonna use him, which they kind of showed that they don't want to use him, if CMC is healthy, no point in bringing him back. You could just get somebody cheaper and let him go and do what's right by that kid, because he deserves to play somewhere. And he's probably right now, I might even be better runner between the tackles than CMC, in my opinion. CMC is just a better all around player and stuff like that. But Mason he was it for a minute, so he's not trash. So he could play. He could play. So you gotta give him his props. But anyway, so Guerendo real fast. Touch on him. He came on late. I like his upside. He got some speed to him. He just gotta work on his vision, man. His vision is terrible. Hopefully he could work on that. If he could work on that, he could be something special if you work on his vision. So right now he don't really know how to really get the nuances of running through the tackles, kind of. But he's big body back, speed. He got some good hands. I like it. I like that. Him and Mason even could be a 1-2 punch. You know, have Guerendo as a third down back and Mason as the every down back. That's not a bad 1-2 punch if you want to get rid of CMC somehow. Or I don't know if he should be healthy though, so there's no point in thinking like that. But you never know. You know, maybe a setback or something, and so you might be forced to want to keep Mason in that regards. But we'll see. But Guerendo, I like what I saw. He just got to stay healthy, man. Another guy can't stay freaking healthy, so he got to stay healthy. But now let's go into what I would do. So and overall, we got the 11th pick in the draft. Thank you for losing to the Cardinals. I did not want a lower pick. That 11 pick is good given everything we going through because it gives us a chance to replenish. The 2024 draft was awesome for us. We got a lot of good hits. I like Green. I like Pooney. I like Pearsall. We got some. I like Kingston before we cut him, which was stupid, but he looked promising in preseason. And like I said, the Panthers took him for a good for a good a good player. That was a good thing they did. But so they say. But yes, so what I would do now, given everything, the only thing I didn't touch on is Moody. He looked good before he got hurt, and I'm gonna explain what I would do with him. I'm not as harsh as everybody else on him. I really don't. After we was shown we ain't gonna win, I was glad he's missing them field goals. I'm sorry, I want the pick. I'm sorry, we ain't winning no championship. I want a high pick, so I don't really care that he was missing field goals to be honest. After a certain point, but I'm more sympathetic because I know why he's probably missing. But I'm gonna get into that a little bit. But anyway, so that was us. Brock Purdy. Oh, I didn't even touch on Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy had an up and down year. He didn't have a lot of weapons, yes. I do personally feel he's banged up. His arm and his shoulder needs to be investigated before we give him all this buku bucks. So and his elbow maybe too. And so we got to be very careful giving him a long term deal, in my opinion, because he already don't have a good arm, and if you taking more from it, you playing with fire. Because that man, you kind of know how to. I could kind of figure out how to play him without defensive coordinator. Just take away everything short, let him beat you deep, and you have a chance to recover because he'll throw that thing up in the air, and that thing will languish. Your DB or your safety could come and knock the ball down or something because that ball has no type of sharpness to it. It's just a long lollipop throw. Let him do that. Let him. I'll take my chance with that. Then if anything short or intermediate or over the middle, that's why he got all them picks because people know how to play him. In crunch times, they know he's not gonna throw no deep balls. They know he's gonna try to throw it over the middle or throw it certain routes. They know he's not gonna throw no go routes because he can't. I mean, he can if he's healthy. He could do all right with them. Shrink the field, he do all right. He got probably the second weakest arm of any starter in the NFL, in my opinion. Probably the only one to have a weaker arm than him, in my opinion, is Tua. But he's up there. He's one of the most accurate throwers of the football that I could see from my eye test. But the arm strength is terrible. Not for my personal like. I don't like noodle arm quarterbacks, but he gets the job done. He makes decent decisions and he throws the ball accurately enough. But if teams have the players to man up our receivers, it's gonna come down to the running game to really like allow us to like do anything on offense. But anyway, in my opinion. But anyway, unless Purdy could stretch the field, which he wants to, but does he have the strength, the arm strength to do it? That's the real kind of like X factor or iffy thing. Because I was thinking the other day, what was Matt Ryan like his MVP year under Kyle? He was throwing that rock down the field a lot, boy. I had him on my fantasy team. He had a monster year, so he was pushing that ball down the field with Julio Jones at times. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Hello, hello, hello. Testing. 1, 2. Okay, I'm back. I had a phone call, important phone call I had to take. But yes. So what I was saying, Kyle needs no, it wasn't Kyle. Brock Purdy. Just his arm strength concerns me. He kind of reminds me of Fitzpatrick, Ryan Fitzpatrick with the Bills. He had the hot start, got paid, languished out. That was it for him. But he had some lightning in the bottle moments and this and that. Fitz magic and all that stuff. Blah blah blah. I wouldn't be surprised. That's Brock Purdy's 2.0 story. But we'll see. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that they don't pay him no $60 million. I would never pay that man no $60 million. Come on, man. You smoking crack if they do that. I would be freaking furious to give that man $60 million on any scale. I'm going to close it out by saying Brock Purdy is okay with me, but I would still want to explore other options. if we can. But I'm gonna address what I would do. So without further ado, this is what I would do if I was making all decisions for the 49ers. This is what I would do. So pay attention. And if you don't like it, or you disagree, or you want to give some counter, some comments, and you watching this, please just you could drop a comment. I'll love to hear what you have, your feedback, and hear what you have to say. So fire Sorensen. That's definitely one. I know he had 1 year. I even wanted to be fair with him. My thing with firing him real fast is that he just showed no growth. Robert Saleh, when he was the defense coordinator, he struggled, but then he showed growth. So then you could see the upside with keeping him, and he got better, 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 better. And he was, in my opinion, a good defensive coordinator. I thought he was a good coach in the Jets. He just didn't have no stability at quarterback. That's what that and the owner fired him too prematurely, in my opinion. But that's another long story. But he was awesome. Same thing with D'Amico Ryan's awesome. You know what I'm saying? And Sorensen, you just don't get it. He don't see the game the right way like these guys did, and he made horrible adjustments. Just not good. Just not a good fit for what we want to do, and nobody got better under him. People took step backs under him. That's a tall tale sign of poor coaching. You could see there was a lot of broken coverages. That's again bad communication, bad coaching. People are lost. The players was kind of echoing that, like they don't know what they doing, kind of saying, alluding to that. So not a fan of him. I don't know what Staley's role. That's the defensive. I don't know what he was doing. He was bad coming from the Chargers. So it's like, how much did he have a hand in what was being done, and did he help? Did he not? My feeling is Sorensen was doing his own thing and not listening, because I can't see it being this bad unless you just don't know what you're doing and you're not listening to advice. That's my theory. I could be wrong. Will they probably promote Stanley or to not, is it Stanley, the assistant defense coordinator? Maybe they'll promote him to a full-time defense coordinator. That's probably what they wanted all along, but they couldn't really do it like that. And I only speculate they might do that because Kyle likes that guy, so they're friends. So I don't think he want to get rid of him. Maybe he'll keep him and then get another defense coordinator. But what I would do, I would get Olbrich from the Jets. That would be my defensive coordinator for the 49ers. You could keep Stanley or Stokely, whatever the heck his name is, the Chargers ex head coach. You could keep him around and hopefully make sure that they understand they work together, not individual as an individual. Because I think Olbrich is good. He's good, and he's coming from Salah, like an extension of Salah. So I think that would be a great fit for us, and I think he'll be available. So I would that would be my first choice. And they wanted him before anyway. They just didn't want to let him go. So I would definitely, if I could get him, which I probably think that they can, the Jets probably will let him go now. So I would get him as my defensive coordinator. So that would be my defense coordinator. I would give Stanley or Stokely, whatever have you say, a chance at defense corner, because I think he's an upgrade. I know he's an upgrade over Sorensen. I know he's an upgrade, so it can't get no worse. The other thing I might consider as, because my last year my choice was Brian Flores, and obviously you see how he's doing in Minnesota. That's why I wanted a defense coordinator, but again they didn't even consider him. But that's what I wanted, because here's why. I would prefer to get either an aging guy, which I didn't name in this situation, but because Oldridge's kind of young, aging guy or minority. Here's why: they poach your minority, you get the draft picks. Like, I think that's kind of what attracted them to Steve Wilkes. They're like, oh, everybody's been a defense coordinator from us. They gotten jobs. We get the draft picks, and then do it over again. Which I like that system. I like that mindset. So. But in my scenario, I didn't name either of the two, which is fine. So there's a high likelihood only with Olbrich becoming a defense coordinator that he's going to get poached, and I think he will get poached. That's also too why I'm not against Stokely. Stokely, he becomes the defense coordinator. I don't think nobody's going to poach him, because he's damaged goods from the head coaching he did in the Chargers. So I want consistency. I don't want people to be like poaching our guys every few years. I want somebody that's gonna stay around for at least 3 years straight, especially if Kyle's gonna be here. Now, if Kyle's gone, that's hit neither here nor there. That's why I say Stokely or Stanley, whatever his name, could be the defense corner. Because if he leaves, he's going with Kyle. So then you could just reset both jobs. So I wouldn't be surprised that's who becomes the defensive coordinator officially, and he's just him by himself, and which is fine because he goes down with the burning bush. I don't want them hiring somebody that they're gonna end up firing and it's gonna make them the scapegoat. No, make your guy scapegoat, make you the scapegoat. They work together anyway, so let them figure it out, the two of them. Sorensen, what I would do with Sorensen though is make him the special teams coach. See, nobody's ever said that. I would make Sorensen the special team coach, and I think he could do it. I think that he could do it. He could coach the special teams, and it's an upgrade. Again, it's an upgrade over that guy because the guy that we got is terrible. He's horrible. So if they could do that, I don't know if they do stuff like that in NFL. I don't know if I ever heard of that 100%. But that's this again. What I would do: put him as special teams coach, bring down Stanley Stokely, whatever the head coach from the Charge that we got, the assistant defense coordinator, make him the defense coordinator. That's how I would shuffle the block because I don't know who else to get as special teams coach because I'm not privy as to who's the hot guy. But at least he could. I think he could do much better in that. He can't do any worse because that guy is terrible. But anyway, and the players do like Sorensen, so keep him in the building, and you have familiarity in the building and stuff like that. You can't clean. I think you clean house once Kyle's gone. You clean complete house. Then you clean house when he's gone. But he's still there. I want to keep some players, some people in his coaching tree that he's familiar with, and then when he's gone, you just clean house. If you have to get rid of him, So that's what I would do. Brock Purdy, I'm giving him $50 million. No dime more, no dime. 45 to 50 million. If you're gonna give him 45, he says no. You can negotiate, push up to 50. That's the most I'm gonna give him, but you're gonna have a lot of outs. It's like pretty much a 2-year deal. It's not gonna be longer than a 2-year deal. After the third year, you have a whole bunch of outs and stuff like that. So he deserves some money though. He deserves some money. He shouldn't be making anything close to what he's making. He outperformed his rookie contract. Although my other secondary move would be just to get rid of him altogether and start the clock all over with another quarterback. Whether you draft him, whether you get somebody for agency, Justin Fields is out there, Mac Jones out there, Zach Wilson's going to be out there. So you could get all three of them, let them duke it out, and the best man win, and keep the backup. And then the third one, you just have a third string quarterback. So you could do some stuff like that. I would try to flip Brock Purdy to the highest bidder. You got the Raiders. They need a quarterback badly, and you got the Jets. They need a quarterback badly. They probably get something for Brock Purdy and pay him handsomely, and not a bad eye about paying him whatever. So that's just secondary. But firstly, I would keep Brock Purdy. Keep Brock Purdy stays for now. Hopefully his arm is fine. That's under impression his arm is fine. Under impression he could get a little better arm strength. Under impression he could with better weapons, he's gonna be better. So he stays. Okay. So after that, the offensive line, how I would address it. The 11th pick in the draft, right? I got 2 picks I would take. And they both could help Brock Purdy. First pick is going to be controversial. I would take Genty, the running back. Here's why. Because I think with CMC getting older and he's potentially injury prone now, Mason might be gone. Running back is a need. You got to get the best running back in college football on a Kyle Shanahan roster with other weapons around him. The man could be monstrous. If that's the word, he could be a freaking monster in that system, in our system. Take a lot of pressure off of Brock Purdy. Probably improve our goal line offense tremendously because he probably score a lot of touchdowns. He's super young. It's like Derrick Henry on the 49ers, a monster. He'll be a monster. You could play the clock more. I just think it will work. You could ease him in. You could keep CMC and ease him in a little slowly, and then after this coming season, so 2026, he's going to be a monster in Kyle Shanahan's system, in my opinion. If CMC has a healthy 2025 season, that's if he does. If he doesn't, Genty is right there, and because we've seen how better the offense runs with a running back. A competent running back helps out so much with Kyle Shanahan offense. You don't have him there, it's not gonna run as smooth as you would want it to run without and you have one of the best running backs now on your team in college football. Would be scary. That's my first. This is me. That's who I would get. My second would be a offensive tackle. Now, I know we have Trent. He getting paid if he doesn't retire. This is on under the pressure. He doesn't retire. Left tackle. He's not the rookie. Not gonna play left tackle. He's gonna play right tackle. Okay, and then you got McGlinchey. What are you gonna do with McGlinchey? Throw him to left guard. That's where he would go in my scenario. Kick him into left guard. Pooney stays at right guard for now. The rookie goes to right tackle, and you got now your offense, and then you in the center, which I didn't address, but center what I would do, I would Hennessy. Hennessy is better than Brendel all day. As long as he's healthy, he's better than Brendel because Brendel's trash. Anybody's better. He's the worst center in football. I don't care. Hennessy is the guy, or you could draft somebody, but I don't think Kyle want to play no rookies at center for whatever freaking reason. Or I would put Nick Zakel in the center. Any one of those three is better than Brendel all day. Brendel cut. He's getting cut under my scenario. He's going. I don't want to see him ever again. You banish him. You're going. McKivitz, I don't hate him as much. Like I said, I'll kick him into left guard, be him and Trent next to each other. So you would have Trent, McKivitz at left guard, left tackle Williams, McKivitz, center you would have uh Hennessy, healthy, Hennessy, right guard, who I think is underrated, and if healthy, he's good. He's good. Trust me, he's good. Right guard Pooney, right tackle is the rookie. Whoever rookie we draft, a rookie. And I think we, the offense line is 10 times better than what it is under that scenario. You protect Brock Purdy and you keep him upright, and he could do what he does, and we could be a good offensive system going forward for the next decade or so, or 5 years at least, because Trent ain't playing a decade, but next 5 years, and Trent ain't playing 5 years either. But once Trent leaves, you kick the rookie over to left tackle. You could throw McKivitz back to right tackle if you want, and you could find somebody to play left guard. They out there. That's not a hard player to find at that spot. Like that's gonna be affordable. So you could find somebody. Again, Kingston would have been good, but you cut him. So, but anyway, talking just for next year. I'm not gonna go beyond that. So that's what I would do for next year. Those are my two choices. The other third choice at the 11th pick is an edge rusher, but I don't really know if there's a really good edge rusher we could get. We do got Drake Jackson coming back. We got free agency. We got Floyd on the team still. So I think his coaching would make these guys better at those at that opposite defensive spot to Nick Bosa, so we could kind of like get and we got a Monicon or whatever how you say his name is. He's pretty good too. So we got some players that just need to be coached up that could play defensive tackle. Defensive tackle probably be my second pick or a third. You got to get two D tackles in this draft. So this loaded with D tackles in this draft. And we have some young guys too. Hargrave, I don't think he's coming back, but if you keep him, you still have him. So, the defense is not Greenlaw, I would bring back. That's part of what I would do. Huff depends on what the price is. I'll bring him back. The price too much, I'm not bringing him back. I'm sorry. I think Brown could be better under a better coach. So I know he was trash this year, but I think under a better coach he'll be better. And you still got Mustafa. So yeah, you could draft somebody or sign a safety too. So that's cheaper. And Huff is passionate and he brings a certain intangibles that I like on the team. But for the right, he's not all that. So he can't be replaced. But I would consider my options. But Greenlaw got to come back. Got to bring him back. He's the heart and soul of that defense in a lot of ways. Him and Fred Warner together is dynamic. You got Winters. You got one of the best linebacking cores in football going forward. So that's what I would do. I'm trying to think. DBs is what it is. I think we're gonna lose one of our top DBs. He's gone. Ward, he's gone. Mooney Ward, he's gone. So, but I like Green. He's good. We could always draft another cornerback or sign another cornerback. And I know we got a couple of guys under that could play or maybe play a little more prominent role. So the defense and the team overall isn't as bad as we think. And the next year's schedule is supposed to be a lot easier, so that should help too. So that's what I would do. Keep Shanahan for one more year. But if we get Genty or offensive tackle with the first pick, I think we're in good. We're gonna be fine going forward. Second round also too could be a running back. If we go offensive tackle first pick, running back, a second pick, I'm not I'm not mad at that because I people's the defense. I think the defense just need a better coach, man. Just needs a better coach. The coach was terrible. The defense also too had a lot of injuries and stuff. But I think once people come back and put in a better situation, we kind of like patch it up. The defense, I think it'd be a lot better because we did play some decent defense in spurts. We just didn't do it consistently. So we did it in spurts. We didn't do it consistently. And second, we did first half we played good defense, and the second half we just fell off a cliff. But that's bad. That's coaching. To me, that's coaching. So if you get a better coach that could keep it consistent, the defense will be a lot better next year. So and that would happen if when we get rid of our defensive coordinator. So that's what I would do in a nutshell. I know, controversial with the draft pick, but that guy is good. He's good, and put him in the Kyle Shanahan system. You're controlling the clock, you're scoring points, and you're keeping your defense fresh. So, I think, and we need a running back. We need a running back. We need a young stud running back, and you're not gonna always be at 11 to get these type of stud running backs. Now there's other running backs you get. That's why I said maybe second round, but I don't know if any Scooty. I don't know if Scoot's gonna make it to the second round for us to draft him that far down the second. I think somebody got to take him before he. So where you gonna get it? You could trade down and get the second best running back if you want. That's possible, but you have to kind of play the board and see. And then but yeah, it takes two. You got to have a team that's willing to trade up. There's no quarterback, so there's not. I don't see the willingness for a lot of teams to want to trade up. So I think we're stuck with an 11 pick, and you can't go wrong with a stud running back like that. We have a lot of misses in the first round. I think you want to nail that pick, unless Mason Graham falls, which I don't. You take, I think, the best player, and the best player probably at 11 will be that running back, and you take him, and you give him the rock, and he's gonna be phenomenal for your team, and people are gonna look at Gibbs for Detroit. He's a reach. You don't take a running back there, but he's phenomenal, and people not saying that no more. So anyway, though, let me know what you think. Let me know what you thought. I said a lot, talked a lot longer than I wanted to, but it's your boy DJ 2K Natural. I gotta get to work. But if you like what I said, or you want to give any pushback or add any more, I will reply to the comments. So drop your comments below. 49 gang. I'm out. Peace.